Hello, one and everyone. Thank you for making it, oh God, all the way to God of War Ragnarok with the Therapist Part 4. I am super grateful for your support. As always, it means so much to me. Make sure you leave a like on the stream. Make sure that you leave a comment down below. The engagement helps these videos hit the algorithm, and I want as many people to watch these as possible. So, a special shout out to those of you that share my playthroughs with other people, because it really means a lot to me. Make sure you follow all the other links in the description, by the way. I post go live announcements in Discord, and we have a really cool community that hangs out in there. And I'd love to see you Twitch side someday or night. I know I stream at terrible hours. But hey, I assume if you've made it to this point already, you are enjoying the run. And I will remind you again that my analysis of what's going on is me doing my best. I don't claim to be right. I don't claim to be all-knowing, omniscient understander of every intricate detail of the world that we're in. I'm just doing my best to educate the masses in a way that's a little bit more accessible. So, thanks for the support. Let's go to this crazy-ass island that we brought up at the end of part 3. I'm sorry I left you with a cliffhanger. No, I'm not. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry at all. Okay, here we go.
No.
Okay.
Look at this thing. It's like a whale. It looks like a sperm whale with sharp, pointy teeth. I did it again. I could have just gone down right there, and instead I took the long way. I wonder if this thing talks. Whoa. We good on volume, by the way?
What is this?
A Loonbocker. I captured it many years ago.
For Odin.
Yes. I thought it an imaginative and eye-catching way to earn his favor.
It worked?
That it did.
Just a little bit of a note on Kratos. This isn't like a full analysis or anything, but Kratos asks a lot more questions now than he ever used to. Like, he really does engage the world with curiosity. I think in part to learn how to survive it, but also maybe it's just because he's with Atreus so much, but he asks Mimir for a lot of stuff. He asks Atreus what he thinks. Like, there is a level of curiosity with Kratos that I think is really, really neat. Whoa, this thing is so cool, but it's trapped. So this isn't here for our amusement. This is a creature that deserves freedom. So let's go bring that to it. Good thing there's a convenient dock here. Thanks, Mimir. The weight of chains. Free the Lingbacher. This is so cool.
This creature. You enslaved it.
Aye.
But why?
Because I was young and stupid. And I didn't know what it was like to be chained in one place for years at a time, with nothing to occupy your mind but pain.
Translation, by the way, to what Mimir said is, I didn't really take a second to engage with empathy. Empathy tends to prevent people from doing bad shit. Or at least makes them think twice about it. Jeez, man, the detail. The detail is just... Oh. Some of the detail is just so unnecessary, but just really makes it. I love it. Whoa.
Right. Chain the fins too. If you could.
Holy shit.
Easy. Easy.
That creature's hurting.
But we're going to free it.
But it will always be chained. You know that as well as I.
Now for the other fin. There may be a way to reach it behind that collapsed debris.
Man, oh man. There's not really a way to reverse the wrong. Again, atoning needs to be about this animal and this animal alone, not about Mimir feeling better about himself. That's part of it, sure. But that's not... Mimir is not the focus here. Mimir has to live with the fact that he did this. Him feeling like shit about it is part of the consequences of being more insightful about his impact on the world. So, we don't owe Mimir a whole bunch of like, oh my god, you're just so great because you're atoning for your actions. Like, no, I think it's okay for Kratos to say to Mimir, like, this is really shitty, dude. Now, we don't have to be like a complete and utter asshole to Mimir because of it. Because ultimately Mimir is acknowledging that he did something wrong, and I think that there does need to be room for people to understand the ways that they've messed up and to try to atone for it. But
You're angry with me, aren't you, brother?
I remember the feeling of a yoke around my neck. I would not wish it upon another.
yep, there it is. That makes a lot of sense. But that line is important. What Mimir said 2 minutes ago and what Kratos just said here is important because it speaks to the ways that a diverse range of experience, which is subjective to all of us, changes the perspective we take on different actions that could or could not be taken. So when presented with the opportunity to enslave this animal, if it was Kratos, he may not have done it. Because Kratos' experience was that he himself had been in that kind of position before. And the result of having that experience had the empathy, the wherewithal, the contextual understanding to say to himself, no way, dude. No way. Mimir, on the other hand, at the time that this happened, didn't have that. Mimir was probably highly intellectualizing this. I have to believe that Odin probably inducted him into this idea that this was the best possible thing to do. And Mimir didn't have a lived experience that would contribute to a sense of empathy, which means that he was better able to objectify this animal and enslave it in the way that he did. Mimir's sense of remorse is part of his development as a character over his long life, of realizing that there was infinitely more nuance and complexity to this situation than what he was willing to attend to back when he made the decision. So Kratos being angry about this makes sense because of his lived experience, and Mimir feeling bad about it now makes sense, but also being more cold about it back when he made the decision makes sense because his lived experience didn't necessarily contribute to an ability to empathize in a way that would have stopped it. And I make this point only because this is really the complexity of what it is to exist and have the ability to perceive the world that you live in. We all have different experiences that cloud and contribute to the judgment we make about certain decisions that others make and that we make. And the nuance to that is profound. It's not as black and white as we'd like to believe or throw into some sort of code of morality. All right, so we can go up there. I felt like, no, we can't just crawl through this little circle here. That's too hard. I'm Kratos. I gotta make things complicated. Do you think trust has been lost when Kratos between Mimir for this? I don't know. I mean, I think Kratos would have to say whether that's the case. I don't really know why. This isn't... See, here's the thing. This isn't the kind of situation that would breed a lack of trust. To me, if you sit and actually acknowledge what's happening in this moment, it should breed more trust. This is Mimir owning up to his actions. This is Mimir being honest about what he did. I truly believe nobody should ever be punished for honesty. You should be punished for your actions. There should be consequences for the way that you show up in the world. But people should never be punished for honesty. Because when you punish people for honesty, that's when they start to hide things. That's when they start to avoid going there. Will leave you out of stuff. So if anything, this is a situation that I would hope that Kratos, as angry as he might be at Mimir for his actions, which is a consequence of that, this should build trust in Mimir that he's willing to own up to his actions and acknowledge when there is some sort of influence he had on the world that they have to navigate. Never, never, never punish people for telling the truth. You can hold them accountable for the actions that go along with it, but if you get shitty with people for telling you the truth and for saying the hard thing and for taking accountability for their actions, you are absolutely missing the mark as a person who wants to reinforce honesty. Wanting people to be honest with you can't just be all talk. You have to be willing to reinforce it in a meaningful way. And that's not easy to do. It's not easy to do, but it's incredibly important.
Anything illuminating?
I mean, it's literally illuminated, but regarding the removal of resources. 1. When making your initial strike, use an axe, not a pick. You use a pick, you go too deep, you get red flow. You get red flow, somebody has to clean it up. 2. Pre-dawn remains the best time to harvest. Grogginess and disorientation are still a major factor before sun comes up, so the chance of accidents becomes much lower. 3. Always wear earplugs. Oh my god. So they're literally harvesting something from this. And wear earplugs so you don't hear the painful screams, I'm sure, that this creature gives when they're doing it. Wow. That's what this is, by the way. This is them literally acknowledging how horrible this is. But these are the ways that people do this. You cut off your connection to what you're doing. For those, so many of us, like I, myself included, right? We read this, we acknowledge what happened here, and we go, "Oh my God, I would never." But the truth of the matter is, with the right circumstances, yes, you would. Humans are capable of absolutely abhorrent actions when they are given the proper circumstances to stave off their capacity for empathy for what's happening. That's why you limit the flow of information. It's why you create these controls. It's why you do things like you wear earplugs. If I don't have to hear this thing scream out in pain, it's one less empathy box checked. And the truth is, like, you don't know what you don't know. Like, right? Like, I drink freely from this aluminum can. But what if there is some all-knowing thing out there that knows that this is actually a living thing that is in absolute, utter, screaming, horrible pain every time I take a sip of it, and I'm actually killing something by drinking this. I don't have that information, so I continue to drink this and go, this tastes great. I love this. I have it every stream. But if I had extra information that told me that in context this was an abhorrent act, it would probably change my way of orienting myself to it. That's essentially what this is. Limiting the amount of information, acknowledging how terrible it is, and making it so that people continue to do terrible things because they have the ability to objectify it. This kind of torture and loss of autonomy is reminding me of Project Overlord from Mass Effect. Yeah, there's some overlap there. And we don't even know what happened. We just know that it sucks that something did happen. Okay, so... I don't know the answer to that, Sean. I think we'll probably find out more as the game goes on.
Behind you! Look out!
Whoa. Oops.
Why enslave the creature?
Its fat was a good source of oil for Odin's lanterns.
Oil. For lanterns.
Whatever anger you're feeling, whatever loathing toward me, it's nothing to what I've said to myself.
What I really appreciate about the way that Mimir is handling this, and it's something that all of us can learn from, is that Mimir is willing to empathize with Kratos's reaction to this. He understands what this looks like. He's taken accountability for it, and he is acknowledging the impact of his actions. And I think that that's a good thing. A lot of people in this circumstance would see other people get angry at them, like see Kratos' anger, and then immediately access their shame and worry that Kratos is going to like throw him in the bottom of the lake or something like that. And so then they defend themselves and they try to save face. When in reality, Mimir's acknowledgement to Kratos of like, you get to be angry here, dude. I understand. I get it. And just being real about it. He doesn't go, yeah, but. He doesn't try to go into his intentions. He's like, yeah, man, I completely understand why you would be angry about this. I understand if you would look at me and never see me the same way ever again. That's what's going to hold a connection with Kratos if it's possible. Leaning into and understanding the impact you have on other people, empathizing with that effect and emotional experience that comes up for it is the way. And it's worthy of note here because Mimir is doing a really good job of it while we're going through this. This is painful for him too. Like, at the end of the day, this is the worst thing ever is what's happened to this animal. But this is painful for Mimir to go through, and it's painful for Kratos in his own way. And it's probably painful for Atreus. And Mimir understands that he's the one that created this. Didn't matter what his intention was. What matters is the impact. And Kratos is engaging him with curiosity around this, despite his anger, which, again, I give him a shitload of credit for. Because Kratos could just say, you know what, screw you, I don't care what your explanation is. But he's asking, which I think also shows the level of depth to the relationship he has with Mimir, is that he's willing to be like, why did you do this? He wants to know more about it, rather than just get angry and spiteful. And Kratos deserves credit for that as well. Like, everybody is handling this in a admirable way that I give them a lot of credit for. Now, before I go and unchain that, I'm gonna... man, what a dick, right? Like, this animal is, like, literally sitting here chained to the ocean floor, and I'm like, hold on, let me make sure I got all my loot and went everywhere I need to go before I let you go. Not ready yet, bud. You've been enslaved like this for years. What's 10 more minutes? Am I right? Yeah, now who's the opportunist? Yeah, it's me. Terrible. God.
More inspiring lyricism from the mind of Kvasir.
All right. Number 3. A dramatic poem by Kvasir, he of undisputed brilliance. What is it to live? What is it to die? Is the only difference in the beholder's eye? When disease rots your body, when hate sours your brain, what separates the mad and the sane? For the bearded cruel father and his surrogate daughter shall never know respite from a life full of slaughter. The evil will die along with the good, and the difference between them grows less understood. Holy shit, is this about me? Oh, this is the area that we were at before. Oh, that's kind of cool. I mean, I guess that makes sense, but still. Yeah, those poems are cool. I like reading them. All right, let's go. Let's get this other fin taken care of here. Now, what would be really badass, just saying, Sony Santa Monica, I'm just saying, what would be really badass is if I could light these babies up, do this, and have Atreus shoot the spark, and it blow that up. That would be badass. You would talk about teamwork? Just saying, just throwing it out there. You know where to find me.
Defend, if you could.
I know.
Just the tail left now.
Look out! Redneck! The nest was hiding some sort of device.
Rawhide.
There's a dock down there, but it looks like it's blocked.
Yeah? Bet if I chuck one of those little roasty things at it, I could get it all opened up. 'Cause your boy can throw... Kratos has an arm on him. Huh!
Maybe that dock can lead us to the tail. Let's get back to the boat.
Back to the boat.
You never spoke of this creature.
Does that surprise you? That an old man would be ashamed of the mistakes he's made?
No.
Good move, Mimir. Good empathy. Yeah. You weren't necessarily entitled to that, Kratos, but now that you know. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. How do I don't think I can hold that thing all the way. Oh, yeah, I can. Kratos probably knows more about that feeling than most. Yeah, absolutely. He absolutely does. I like that Kratos can just hold this like it's no problem. Like, yeah, this thing's not that hot. They really are, Scott. That's pretty funny. Ooh. So much to explore on this whale. Get out of here, Odin. It'd almost be a nice touch if Kratos took Mimir off his belt and held him up for some of these conversations, Hamlet style. That would be pretty funny. That would be maybe a bit intense for them right now, though. I think eye contact while they're going through this would be difficult for both of them, because I think they'd really have to go deep and access some of the emotion that's going on here. So I think in some ways, honestly, I think in some ways Kratos and Mimir facing away from each other is part of the reason they're able to have some of these intimate conversations. Because I think it might be a little bit too much for each of them if they were to be face to face. Alright.
I'd hoped the creature would be long expired by now. But apparently the Aesir couldn't even be bothered to mercy kill it once it was no longer useful.
We could kill it.
No. Not when we can save it. Good. We can reach the tail from this dock.
See, what's wild about this is that this is so tragic when you really get into it. I mean, obviously, but what is this gonna do? For hundreds, maybe thousands of years, the only thing that this creature has known is to sit in this same spot and be poked and prodded constantly. It has only known pain. It has not known how to move. We have no idea how long it lived beforehand. We don't even know if it remembers what it was like. Like, this is all it knows. And so we're in some ways like projecting this idea of freedom onto this thing of like, oh, this is going to be just such a wonderful moment for this animal that we're going to let it go and be free. When, like, that could very well be just as torturous, because now this thing has to, like, learn how to navigate this world. And in a lot of ways, what we would probably see is that it... Now, I don't think this is what's going to happen, but if this was, like, real life, what we would probably see is that we'd let the whale go, and it probably wouldn't move. Or it would find its way back to just kind of hanging out in this spot. Because that's been its life for thousands of years. It has no idea how the world has changed. It doesn't even necessarily know what's out there. Like, it's really, as much as it feels like, yeah, look how great we are for letting this thing go. it still is kind of self-indulgent here. Like, this thing is still being used as a proxy for Mimir getting through his guilt narrative on this. Like, it very well could be that killing this would be the merciful way to go. We don't have an ability to communicate with it to know if it's, like, lost its mind or anything like that. But, like, keeping it alive in some ways is also more for Mimir in his sense of, like, oh, thank God I gave it a life it could live. Rather than, like, the reality of, dude, you could have messed this thing up beyond any kind of repair. Because we do that with pets. Pets hit a point of no return, and we're generally like, yeah, it's time to let them go. Humans is a little bit more complicated. But with humans, there are absolutely times where people would tell you, I'm good to go. Send me out. And people keep a person alive for their own gratification, their own fear of losing that person. And at that point, is it really about that person, or is it more about you? And in this case, I could ask that question of Mimir. Is this really about the freedom of this creature? Do you really know enough about it to know that it's going to be okay when we do this? Or is this about you trying to override the sense of guilt and responsibility you have that's been nagging at you?
You would still save this broken creature.
I know what it is to be imprisoned like this. I can't just leave it.
And if it is beyond saving,
I don't understand.
let us continue.
Kratos, elaborate, dude. You're on the right path here, bud. Sikar, thank you very much for the 2-month sub. Like, Kratos is not wrong here. Kratos is being incredibly empathic to this creature's experience right now. I know it seems backwards to say that because he's suggesting we might have to kill it. But ask yourselves, chat, would you rather, if I told you you've got 20 years of torturous solo existence where you have half your mind's capacity and traumatic memories up the wazoo, or I could just end it now, what are you taking? It's not a leading question, but like really ponder that for a second, because if you get into that mind space, it really grays this up.
On your left!
No, I didn't want to do that. God damn it. I always forget I can cancel it. It's so nice that they give you that. See ya.
Behind you, brother!
Now, before I go further, I do want to say that me presenting that question of like which one would you choose, we do have to realize that like in real life there are resources available to help people work through these types of things. Right? I'm not saying like you're doomed to live a life of trauma or kill yourself. That's not what I am suggesting. I want to be very clear about that. I don't know that this creature has a therapist available to it when it swims away. Like there's some like therapist whale sitting in a cave that's like, yes, please come in. I will do my best to assist you. Right? Like there are resources available for people who are living a torturous existence. Okay, so I want to be clear about that. Therapists, Shauna, are a resource for that. There are people that work with people who are chronically and terminally ill. It's not a specific credential, it's just how somebody advertises themselves. Oh, okay. This is back to the starting area that we were at. Okay. Like, I really am engaging in the final torment. Like, this thing can feel us getting rid of its chains, and I'm still just walking around exploring it.
The tail must be chained as well.
And we're gonna have to go boat underneath it, I think.
Sliding down that rope should take us where we need to go.
Or we do this. And here I was, about to make this extra complicated. The hell? Let me get my goodies first.
There. You're free.
Well, let's see what happens.
What's going on? Maybe it needs a little encouragement. Can you get me closer to its eye for a face-to-face, brother?
I hate to say I called it. Wasn't trying to call that, but yeah, I guess to some extent, if you need proof that I know what I'm talking about, I really don't want to say I told you so on that. I really don't. Ugh.
This creature, the mining race, they're mistakes, Mimir. But it's Odin's fault.
That's not an excuse, little one. But thank you for saying it.
Nuance. That's huge for Atreus, by the way. That acknowledgement, that shows Atreus's emerging understanding of the abstract nuance of the world. Like, right there. Like, that's the kind of thought process you want a teenager to have. It's not myopic. Atreus literally is acknowledging that Odin had influence on Mimir, who made that decision. He's not locating it in a black and white. It was Mimir's fault, or it was this fault, or whatever. He's like, hey, man, like, some of this falls on Odin. While that's true, like, Odin is responsible as being a person who has just a ridiculous amount of influence on the people of this world. Mimir is also part of the issue. So Atreus's acknowledgement of that is a in-your-face form of formal operational thought, where he is taking these abstract symbols, concepts, and connections, and he's making them, and he's deducing and understanding what's happening in the world around it. It's a beautiful example of his growth and his understanding of how dynamic human relationships are. This game is killing it with the analysis bits, man. So much to talk about. And this is just a side quest. Alright, I'll be really interested to see how this goes.
Go on, you great blubbering beast. Shoo! It's not moving. Why is it not moving?
It has grown accustomed to its chains.
But... No. No, we can fix this. We just need to chase it off. Scare it. Something.
There is no making things right. Only better than they were.
It likes the wind blowing on its face. I can feel it.
Well, you provide some comfort.
That's not enough.
You don't get to decide that, Mimir. This is the crossroads right here. Of it being about Mimir versus being about the animal. Atreus has the ability to feel it out. And Atreus is like, hey man, it's at least enjoying that the arrow's hitting its face. It's enjoying something. Can we just take a second? This thing that has been tortured for centuries is enjoying something right now. Something that we all take for granted. Air blowing on our face. And this thing's like, oh, yes. Oh, give me that. It's amazing. Oh, I don't have to feel the weight of these chains. That's good enough for me, man. I'm just going to chill here for a second. And Mimir goes, that's not enough. It was never going to be enough. The only thing that was going to be enough for Mimir is if he could go back in time, like he said on the boat in the last episode, and prevent himself from doing this in the first place. He can't do that. No amount of wanting to go back in the past and influence it is going to change anything. And this is where grief comes in. He is going to have to sit with the dissonance and the grief of the fact that his actions had real consequences that he cannot reverse. And no amount of this creature's response to being freed from the chains is going to be enough for him. And he doesn't get to make this whale the proxy for his guilt. He does not get to hold this whale to a standard. If you're going to free it, you free it, and you let it do whatever it's going to do. This doesn't get to be about you anymore. And a lot of people fall prey to this. When you atone for your actions, it has to be about the thing you're atoning for, not about you. Mimir's going to have to sit feeling shitty for a long time. Not good to sit here and say, like, well, oh my God, it doesn't want to move because it grew accustomed to its chains. He knows that Kratos is right. So when he says it's not enough, what he's really saying is it's not enough for me. And he needs to be careful because that's not good. Listen to Atreus, Mimir.
It seldom is.
Ooh. It appears that Mimir has enacted many cruelties here in Svartalfheim. None more reprehensible than chaining this creature and harvesting its fat for oil. To perform an act so heartless and to put it out of one's mind, to never speak of it, it reminds me of a boat captain I wronged long ago. He too was robbed of his freedom and suffered because of who I was and the choices I made. Perhaps there is a measure of monster inside us all. That's hella reflective, Kratos.
You know what? My face is itchy. I think my beard's coming in.
Is it?
Yeah, on my jawline. See? It's growing.
Is it?
That's not just dirt.
It's not dirt.
Come on, what a tone shift. How do you can't you can't go from enslaving a god or an animal and like guilt and atonement to Atreus being like, bro, I'm getting a beard. What would have really made me lose my shit? Just would be if this was like a built-in line that Atreus is supposed to say after this quest, and then that whale, you hear the whale go, "That's not a beard, bro, that's dirt." Like Atreus is like, I can sense what the whale said, and the whale's calling my bullshit. Oh my god, that would be, oh god, it would be so good. Like that whale, like, yep, whale still got it. Thanks for freeing me. You don't have a beard. Don't even try. Oh, man. Oh, it's so good. Like, the whale's like, I gotta swim away from this bullshit. I just want to admire this really quick and, like, take a look at it. It's so cool. Yeah, the Amused Is It by Kratos is really good, too. I agree. It actually, like, I mean, it looks like somewhat content. I wonder if, like, it's just kind of like, oh, yeah, this is nice to just be able to chill and do my thing. Or maybe it's just tired. Years of being tortured. What a cool quest, though.
Wouldn't you prefer to face forward rather than backward?
We already tried.
There are issues with viscera.
Oh.
There was a brief bit that I thought I might get used to it.
He did not.
Now we know. Interesting that Mimir wants the whale to swim away, but I'm not seeing any whale-sized parts of this lake. Honestly, I think the reason that Mimir wants the whale to swim away is because he doesn't want a visual reminder of his deeds. Again, it's all about Mimir here with this. Mimir is experiencing an immeasurable amount of guilt. And I think he wants the whale to swim away because he has an idea of what that whale's freedom looks like. And then he also benefits from not having to look at it anymore. Anytime Mimir would come here and see that island sitting out in the middle of that lake, he's reminded of what he did. And so if the whale just sits there and chills, Mimir has to see it. He has to have the constant reminder. And that's why I say this is about Mimir. This is about Mimir's process of having to figure out how to find some compassion for himself and how to just live with the consequence of what it is that he did. He wants him to swim away so he doesn't have to look at it anymore. I'm not saying that Mimir is a selfish prick by any means, but like these are the kinds of things that we do. We don't want to sit with the discomfort of our actions. It's hard to do that. It's hard to know that we have wronged somebody. But it doesn't mean that we get the benefit of that being the thing that makes us feel better about what we did. This whale owes nothing to Mimir. Nothing. He doesn't owe an act of freedom. He doesn't owe Mimir a thank you for coming back and freeing him from his chains. This whale could just pull up its flipper with a middle finger and say, fuck you, man. And he would be totally within his right to do that. He could look at Mimir and say, I hope you sit in guilt until the day you die for what you did to me. And he would be justified. Is that, warm and empathic and kumbaya? No. But Mimir doesn't get to just have this thing be grateful because he came back and released it after years of torture. It's a bullshit proposition. So he wants the reminder of it gone. Understandably so. I can understand why he wouldn't want to see the whale and be reminded of it. But that's part of the consequence of his actions. And he can learn from that and do better in the future. Craig, thank you very much for gifting that sub. I appreciate it, friend. All right, I want to go check out the shield that we just got, and then we're going to go meet the dwarf guy that we're supposed to actually meet here. What is this? Oh, this is my stash.
Oh, definitely need that.
How can I help? I'll heat up the forge.
Rond of Aggravation. The shield Ron Smith with the rage of an angry spirit within. It looks cool, though. Do I want to upgrade this? Not really. I don't use my shield that much, so.
Well, if you change your mind,
Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Don't worry about it. All right. While we sail over here, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody for watching these playthroughs. If you're here on YouTube, I'm grateful for you. If you're here live with me on Twitch while we play this, I'm grateful for you too. Thanks for taking time out of your day or night to watch my content.
Father, what's the biggest thing you've ever fought?
I do not know.
You can't remember?
Why do you ask?
I don't know. So we can compare?
It is not a competition.
I mean, not yet.
Easy, dude. Easy. Whoa, what is this statue thing? Atreus admires the brawn of his father. It makes sense to me why he would be
Now that's a big
interested
statue.
in that. Whoa.
What is that?
Dead.
I wonder if that's like a smaller version of the whale we just freed. Kind of looks like it has a similar structure.
Mimir, that big dwarf statue we saw. Who was he?
Aldous Stonefoot, warden of Svartalfheim. He used his wisdom and might to imprison some of the most dangerous creatures in all the realm.
Well, that sounds kind of interesting. Let's go check him out. What was the point of doing that?
Behind you, look out!
Oh, you knock it down, Atreus. That nifty little bow you got. Oh, it ducked underneath the boulder, damn it. Damn it.
Right to your back!
Nice, Atreus. Hell yeah, dude. Chuck the stone at you, bitch. Oh, yeah. Hey, Atreus.
That dragon sculpture's not bad.
It is pretty cool. Why don't you go ahead and shoot this for me, bud? Thank you. Don't exactly know why I'm doing that, but
Not the first time someone's told me that, I suppose.
don't breathe. Mind your breath. Could be referring to the polluted air of the bay or warning against speaking ill of Odin. Both equally likely, in my opinion. That would certainly make sense. Yeah. Oh, well, this is a little bit tricksy. You were trying to appreciate art and you want him to destroy something. Yeah. This is the way. Another one of these venti things.
You may need some special equipment to use this.
Yeah. You said that before. Okay. And that's cool. Alright, we got one more. Where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at? I do wonder if maybe it's up there and we just can't get to it yet. It's a neat area. Oh, this thing. Ah, all right, Atreus. Let's figure out how to get behind this thing. Which we may. This is interesting. Okay. How do I get behind him? There's no way. Oh, here we go. Okay. There we go. Don't have whatever we need to do that yet. I can live with that. It doesn't seem like. And those things give a lot of cool stuff. Maybe I'm just not looking in the right spot. Maybe it's right in front of me. And your boy's just not paying enough attention. These drive me nuts sometimes because it's like, okay, there's like a water jug. It's just chilling somewhere. And it's probably available to me. And I just have to look in the right spot for it. And I just know there's people watching this right now going, I know where it is. Maybe some people are like, you walked right past it, Ryan. And it's driving me nuts. Called it. Give me that apple. Nom, 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 nom. Everybody's lobbying for therapy whale t-shirts.
Brother, in my travels, I heard of a great battle in your homeland at a place called the Gates of Fire.
The Hut Gates.
You were there?
No.
Is that regret in your voice?
I did regret not dying there for many years. But no longer.
You got a son that you love and want to take care of. Aww. I really don't want to miss anything. I really wish there was something that's like, hey man, you did everything you could do in this area. Move along. Because there's just, I just don't want to miss out on doing stuff. All right, here we go.
We going to Durlin? Hope he'll be happy we fixed those rakes.
We'll find out. Go ahead and grab that, my man.
Why do you yawn?
Force of habit, I suppose, since I don't sleep anymore. Although, it's far more confounding that I'm the tired one. I've seen you stay awake for days at a time without so much as a drooping eyelid. Not even a nap.
Gods do not nap.
Oh, tell that to Thor.
I love the little interactions on the boat. Excellent. Okay, good. And let's see what we got.
This is the safety office?
Well, the sign a hair's breadth away from a head injury up there certainly gives that impression.
More OSHA non-compliance, chat. Every game we ever play, I'm always looking out. OSHA agent DrMick. OSHA would not be pleased. Shout out to the OSHA workers. If there's anybody that watches me and has like watched my playthroughs and works for OSHA, please hit me up in my comments and tell me that you work for OSHA. Just shout out to OSHA. Thanks for keeping us all safe. Whoa, this is cool.
We're looking for Durlin?
You have an appointment?
He's right there. What a badass, dude.
No. Has anyone ever had an appointment here?
Here to collect on something, pal. Think parading a severed head around on your hip is gonna scare me into somehow approving estrogen secretion proposal, eh?
We are looking for a prisoner of Odin's.
He's being kept in a mine somewhere. Some friends of ours said that you could help.
Where did you get? You chop her head off with that too, eh?
She was my wife.
Dina and I wondered where she went after our little coup here failed.
Failed?
Yeah, come. Failed.
Faye is dead.
Rest of them are. Ones left alive have to pay the price. I'm afraid I can't help you with your little prisoner situation.
But he could have answers on how to stop Odin.
Careful.
And free Svartalfheim from the Aesir.
Now, I'm not in the business of crossing the old father anymore. Right, before you go. Take this.
What is it?
A fine. Hygiene code violation for improper transport of a rotting head. 2 demerits for speaking the All-Father's given name, and, yeah. For fucking up my desk!
A fine?
Pay it at your leisure, okay?
Maybe read the note, Atreus.
Get out of my office.
Hey there.
So what about get out of my office? Don't you understand?
You said her name was Diener? Oh, sure. Thank you. I think.
I think the thing that stands out to me amidst all of this might surprise folks that are watching this, but Atreus has to be careful with giving people information. Teenagers lack the forethought that adults have. They're better than kids. They're not fully there yet. And Atreus is so excited about what he knows and is so locked into his convictions on where he wants to go and what he wants to do that he doesn't take into account that the power they have in some degree is in their withholding of the information they have rather than putting it all out on the table. When you put all the information out on the table to somebody that you don't know, who in this circumstance has power, you drain yourself of any leverage that you potentially have. And Atreus has to be very careful not to step in and do that because he's not thinking about the consequence or the wider circumstance that's contributing. Kratos would do well to help him understand that. I'm not being shitty to Atreus about that because it makes sense developmentally. He doesn't have the capacity yet. That's where Kratos needs to come in. And he needs to scaffold that process for him and be like, do not just tell everybody what we're doing here. You have to understand the world we're moving around in, and we need to do that with caution. And that includes not immediately showing our deck to everybody that we have no reason to trust up front. Especially after that guy antagonized Kratos in the way that he did. As far as the other stuff, I mean, it's a lot of posturing. I don't have enough information about Durlin to know what's behind what he was saying or doing, other than the fact that, like, he knew Faye. But I don't have much there. Just them trying to posture and hold firm on power, and what people tend to do when they
That
first meet.
head better not be leaking his decay all over my floor.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, and it talks too. Dina, would you get a load of this? It looks a little familiar too.
I've, just got one of those faces.
Seems to me that's the only thing you've got.
We should go.
Whoever Durlin's voice actor is awesome. Big fan. Dude, I want to look at your shop for a second because you got a lot of cool shit. I realize you told me to leave. There's a boundary that I will respect eventually. But wow, is this neat. What do you think about the designs? They're fantastic. You kidding me? All right, Atreus.
Hey, this isn't a fine.
Not now. There are enemies ahead.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. See? There's still some concrete operations going on. Duh! There are times... I love that there is a willingness to allow Atreus to take the lead. At other times, like, Kratos has got to flex his adult muscle here. Like, of course it's not a fine. Of course he was writing something down. But we have the ability to read between the lines. Atreus's lack of discretion is being trumped by his desire to understand the world around him and know things. And what people need to learn and do learn as they go through their lives, sometimes through the school of hard knocks, is that sometimes being discreet about what you know is better than being in everybody's face about what you know. That comes with time. It's like, shut up, dude. Odin's watching. Odin is always watching.
Good hit, brother.
The NSA is always here, Atreus.
Behind you, brother.
Damn it.
Behind you. Poison left side.
Oh, I didn't realize it turns red when I'm actually within range. Okay, there we go. Get over here.
Behind you, watch out.
It's clinging to the wall! You gotta knock it down!
God, there's so many.
Last enemy.
Okay, as I was saying, I think Durlin wrote down directions.
The dwarf has given us a map.
Sort of. You smelled him, but it seems to lead to a mine beyond that mountain.
Ah.
Tyr! Durlin helped us anyway.
Not everyone uses axes and arrows to fight.
Yeah, yeah. Durlin. Read a little bit about him. A minor official of the Dwarven city, Njovalir, At one time, an ally of Faye's in an effort to resist Odin. Now he numbs his failures and drink. Yet it appears he has aided us with a map to Tyr's location. Also, his sea creature, Dinner, gave Atreus an unusual stone. Yeah. Let's see what it'll end up being. Sure, at some point I'll figure out the significance of taking these things down. Right. Hey, DrMick, a longtime viewer of your streams. Love your perspective. Thank you. Curious about your take on Freya's vengeance against Kratos in this game, and if Kratos did the right thing in the last game by saving her life for Baldur. As far as whether it's the right thing, I think it's an understandable thing. As far as her vengeance in this game, we've seen her for all of about 2 minutes, so I don't have much to say about it yet. But I'm sure if she shows up again, I'll have plenty to say about it when she does. Depending on how she shows up. I just figured we were destroying Odin's infrastructure on principle. Well, we could go with that.
This thing looks like it can take us up the mountain. Maybe we'll be able to see a mine up there.
Ah, nothing quite like a dwarven train ride.
What? Well, first let's make sure we found everything there is to find here, Atreus. You know the deal. Okay. How might one get over there? One wonders. Oh, you need that thingy that we don't have.
We can take that train up the mountain when you're ready, brother.
I understand, Mimir. You've made that very clear. I'm not avoiding the train. I don't have an aversion to them. Yeah, I will say, Chad, I don't want to talk too much about Freya because she's not present right now. So we'll handle the Freya bits when we interact with Freya if we ever see her again. So I'm gonna slow us up on the Freya talk. I appreciate the conversation about it, but we'll get there. Well, this is cool because we've got a cool ass train ride to go on, and I want to enjoy it.
Heimdall. There's a name I don't miss hearing.
No one said it until you did, just now.
Durlin. You didn't need to say it, brother. It was written all over his face. Well, burned, I should say. Into his head.
He burned that into Durlin's head?
Failed rebellions tend to warrant swift and enduring retribution.
He is a captain of Odin.
Aye, and the bearer of Galahorn. True believer, that one.
Greatest rocket launcher ever.
Nothing so dangerous in a man as lack of doubt.
Seems like we're here. Come on. This way. I can see another train. Let's look for a way to get over there.
That's cool as hell. Okay. Can we just talk about the engineering on this really quick? Look how freaking cool this is. So they have snowmelt and water coming down from the mountain, which goes this way. And then inside of this train is a wheel that is on basically like one of those like zip tie track things. So the water pushes against the wheel, which then rolls forward and grabs these notches and moves the train forward. Freaking awesome. That is so badass, dude. Holy shit. The faster the water moves, the faster the train goes. Like literally just using physics. How do you go the other way? I'm guessing all you have to do to go the other way is just have something in there like a rudder that goes down that the water pushes. Or just like release the wheel and push it down the mountain. Because you have gravity to pull you down the mountain. That's so cool. Like that kind of detail. It's just so awesome. Oh.
You know, maybe finding Tyr is our best protection. Seemed like Odin really didn't want us to find it. Once Tyr's free and can be God of War again, Odin won't have time to worry about us.
If that is his war to fight, he may have it.
Indeed. No way. Ooh, is that another piece of poetry?
A bomb.
Deactivated, but yes. Likely one belonging to Barry, the dwarf, builder of the Great Hall, Lure.
That whale refusing to move kind of gave me a bad feeling about what might happen when we free Tyr, though. We'll see. Barry the dwarf spent his entire life building the great mead hall known as Lear, or Lyre, or something. I'm sure I'll be corrected in the comments. Brick by brick, stone by stone, he built it as wide and as tall as he could, so that the songs and merriment of the dwarves could echo within its walls until the end of time. He was only a few days' work from completing it when the Einherjar arrived. They demanded Lear its use as temporary barracks. That same night, Barry the dwarf hurled stone grenades at the cornerstones of his life's work, collapsed the entire bloody thing on top of himself in a matter of hours. What's this? Monument to Dwarven love? Okay, we got another one of these guys to do.
We may need some special equipment to use this.
Is that right? So we can't do this yet.
I think we need some special equipment to use this.
Thanks, Atreus. Do you have any ideas yet on why Atreus is seeming to want war so much? No, not really. I mean, other than it's kind of in his blood to want to fight, and it's all that he's really seen. But no, not at this point. I don't have any kind of sense of where that would be coming from. I'm assuming we'll find out. What a cool ass mountain.
Whoa, is that a Trekkie? What happened here?
Use caution.
I think it's dead. Yep.
You think,
Definitely
but
dead.
what do you know?
Hey, I wonder if...
Atreus!
Let's go, bitch. How's this for a first impression? shit. Okay. Oh, that's new. Oh, yeah.
Ready! Together! That one was tough.
Stay on your guard. There could be others around.
Rock on, man. Holy
That
shit.
Drekius killed the first one we found?
If so, it was their aggression that got them both killed.
Woo! That was cool. I love how, like, as somebody, those who've watched multiple playthroughs of different games that I've played, you know that I enjoy Sword and Shield. I like shields, and this game really makes parrying feel awesome, and I really love that. It's so cool to parry these enemies. All right, let's go. Teamwork makes the dream work, big dog.
Down there. I can see a mine. That has to be what Durlin was talking about.
Tracks up on the left there. Might be another train we can take.
Father, what if a war with Odin isn't just Tyr's to fight? What if it's ours too?
War is not the only way.
We're gods. Better gods. We're trying to stop Ragnarok, to help people. And what if the only way to do that is war?
Atreus,
You don't have to shut that conversation down, Kratos. See, this is where I think Kratos is engaging in a mistake that a lot of adults make when teenagers are curious about the world around them and what's possible and how things work. Is Atreus is literally, I think, asking these questions out of curiosity. He doesn't know what the answer is. He has only ever really seen war. He's seen battle. All we've done since he was a kid is fight shit. So Kratos has to really take a second here and take inventory on the fact that his son's curiosity is not a reflection of bad naivety. It's a reflection of the fact that he's trying to understand. And so if Kratos knows that there's more to the world than war, you can't just leave it at, well, there's more to the world than war. Give Atreus something to go off of. Give him something to ponder. He's trying to understand what's going on. And if you get annoyed with teenagers for asking these types of questions and you assume that they should just know these things, you're missing the mark, because he doesn't have alternative representation to war. Hell, even in 2018, Freya was like peaceful and lovely when we first met her. And then we end up having this awful experience with her with Baldur, and she's been chasing us ever since. So all he ever sees is that things turn into fighting. So this is an opportunity for Kratos to maybe get ahead of what took him a long-ass time to understand, which is that maybe diplomacy or other means are available to us instead of just fighting our way through the world. I don't want to take the train yet. I want to explore.
Forge ahead. Unintended, I imagine.
The forge. I will say I'm not I'm not the biggest fan of the way that the codex in this game works. Like, I want to read this stuff, and I don't know where this stuff is. It's in Rune Reads. Oh, there it is. Okay. Forge ahead. Could be a lighthearted jape, or another expression of the dwarves' resentment of Odin's grip on Svartalfheim. Progress truly progress if made under an oppressor. Food for thought there. Is it possible that Kratos is reluctant to engage this conversation because he wants to spare Atreus from the reality of war between gods actually looks like? Yeah, but that's completely misguided. If that was Kratos' reasoning, which I don't know that it would be, but if it was, that is a big mistake. Atreus needs to understand the context of the world that he lives in and is interacting with. Avoiding discussion of history because of how painful it is a big no-no. And it's unfortunately something that's under attack in real life right now. Not sure if you addressed this already, but could Kratos also be trying to keep Atreus from making the same mistakes he did? He could. A lot of parents do that, and it is indeed a slippery slope. You can discuss your mistakes and talk about how they happened. Avoiding talking about the mistakes you made because you're worried that if you talk about it, it'll bring it to fruition is very misguided. Dear Overseer, it is with shame and sadness that I must report I will be unable to meet your requested quota for this season. I'm simply unable to forge armor of the quality and quantity you have requested. The fault for this, of course, is mine alone. I very much hope that my awareness of this fact might incline you to show some degree of leniency. As it stands, my output is measurably reduced since the injuries I sustained after previously failing to meet your quota. And I would argue respectfully, as always, that further physical punishment would only further harm my productivity. I eagerly wait your response. Ooh. I think Kratos' concept of what war means and the damage it can cause is definitely a reflection of his own conflict with it. It's all he's known, and it's his vengeance that brought Greece to destruction. But it still doesn't mean Kratos should think diplomacy is impossible in conflict. Atreus has to grow. Agreed. And Kratos, by virtue of shepherding his son through this process, the onus is on him as a teacher to help Atreus figure this stuff out and see the nuance. Alright, it appears that maybe we have done everything that we can do over here, so... Look at that draw distance, chat. The thing of beauty, man. No sign of Siora's keys. It's true. It's true. What a shame. What a shame. We still can't find those pesky things. I love that meme basically finds it into every playthrough. Hell yeah. Let's go. Hey, what's the most badass way we can make him cross this crevasse? Make even the most mundane shit badass. Sony Santa Monica, probably.
Left side, brother!
Get over here. Oh. Oh shit. Look at this thing. This big old togat. Uh-oh. Fix the broken train.
Looks like we have to get this one back on the track.
Sure does, bud. Let's just chuck this off the mountain. Alright. Easy peasy. Let's go ahead and just pick this up. Ah, yep. Ah, yeah, just go ahead and set this big ass hunk of metal and wood down. Yep.
Wow, this thing is small. Okay, we need to go left. Wait, I meant my left.
God damn it, Atreus.
Keep going. We're so close. Just a little to the left. That's way too far. Mimir, tell him left.
Holy shit, dude. Oh my god.
We're so close. Just a little to the left.
Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, that's it. Round 2. Here we go. Whenever you're ready.
You can fucking wait, Atreus, after that display. Daddy's gotta take a few breaths here and ground himself. Oh. Oh my god.
The Kraken hatchling gave you a stone.
Kraken. Oh, Diener. Yeah, it's covered in algae. I was thinking we could show it to Brock and Sindri when we got back. Here. Okay, so, we came here looking for Tyr because we don't trust Odin, right? If you think about it, war could... Uh-oh.
Start right now? Yeah, exactly what I was thinking. Oh boy.
On your left! Hey!
What up? Look, I already know that my car has an extended warranty, boys.
Atreus, look for a break.
I already talked to somebody about it. I know my home warranty's about to expire. I'm not sure I want to go back to it.
Stop this train!
Great song by John Mayer. It's my favorite one, but that's not what I'm referring to. I actually need you to stop the train.
It's about to...
Oh, God. You swear now, huh? Good. Oh, boy.
Get up!
Oh, shit.
A troll?
Oh, Jesus. Dick. Ah!
I can't believe we... Are you serious?
Yeah.
Behind you, brother!
That was crazy. All of it.
You said it, little brother.
Oh my god, that was awesome. Yeah, I'm expecting a boss battle, and then Kratos is just like, nah, I'll make quick work of this guy. Holy crap, dude. Oh, that was awesome. Is that the first time we've heard Atreus swear? I think that might be the first time that we've heard Atreus say a bad word. Kratos took it in stride. I don't even know that Kratos ever says bad words. I mean, I did just swear at him for the way that he handled the putting the train on the tracks, so, you know. Yeah! I need more range on these.
Poison from above!
So I have a lot of XP. I'm guessing I'll spend that eventually. I'm just banking it right now. Alright, now where do I want to go? There's so much to see and do.
This place is incredible.
Greed. Damn.
I think I see a passage. If we can get through this ore.
What ore, Atreus? I already blew it up.
So, wipe the mouth you had on the train, lad.
It's just a word. I've heard way worse from
The word does not matter. You lost control.
We were falling through the air. I thought we were gonna die.
Is that what you truly wish your last word to be?
No.
In moments of crisis, panic does nothing. Harness it. Let it serve you.
Correct. Now, it would be easy to misconstrue what Kratos said here as don't panic. That is not what Kratos is saying. What Kratos is saying is that when you are in a position to acknowledge that panic is possible because your emotions are heightened, you must be prepared to respond to it in a way that is going to increase your likelihood of survival. And he is absolutely 100% correct. Panic absolutely makes things worse for everybody. Because if you panic, your prefrontal cortex goes offline. And when your prefrontal cortex goes offline, it means that you are no longer capable of synthesizing abstract data, simultaneous stimuli. You lose your ability to think through what it is that you're doing. There's an old saying that I pulled from Mythbusters. Calm people live, tense people die. And there is real truth to that. Part of training in military situations is getting people habituated to intense situations that would generally elicit panic from somebody and pushing mindfulness and awareness into it so that you are responding amid stimulus that might otherwise cause you to panic in a way that's going to increase your survival. So Kratos isn't saying don't panic. What he's saying is you had better be aware when you have the potential to panic and channel that energy into intention and mindfulness about what it is you need to accomplish in that given moment. And that's a skill that needs to be learned. It's incredibly difficult, but it's not him being dismissive of the fact that people panic. He is completely correct that if you have somebody panicking, they're dangerous. I will give one example of this: drowning. It is incredibly dangerous to try to swim out and grab somebody who's drowning, because drowning causes people to panic. And somebody who is flailing and panicking in the water while they're drowning is dangerous to somebody going to save them. So it's not to say don't panic if you're drowning. Of course you're going to drown, but there's danger in it. And it puts other people at risk. And Kratos at this point is as reliant on Atreus as Atreus is reliant on Kratos. So these are lessons that he has to learn if they're going to go on these types of missions. That's why so many life-saving tools are made for throwing to the person. Correct. Man, this is just... This is one of how many realms? 9? Good lord. Although I think we only went to 6 in 2018. I hope we get to go to all 9 in this one.
Look on the ground. Tracks. These must lead into the mine. We'll need to get past this cargo. Looks like the water powers the crane that's keeping the cargo up.
Mm-hmm. Which I wonder if I have the ability to freeze.
Think freezing it would stop the water?
Yeah, I think so. I just got to figure out a way to actually get in a position to freeze it. If I was water that needed to be frozen, where would I freeze it?
Hey, looks like you stopped
okay.
the water flow in that trough. That's it. Let's head across. There's a brazier to the left of the chest. Maybe you can light it?
Yeah, maybe I can. Maybe I'm not going to assert my autonomy against you, Atreus.
Good bet there's a couple more near here. Let's find them, yeah?
Can't imagine it's gonna be that far away though. Maybe it will be. Usually they're all relatively close. You just gotta look in the right spot. Yeah, there it is. Oh, okay. Okay, so this is interesting because there's another one down there. So we got to go down here. Yeah, there we go. Go across. Light it. And then, ooh, we make sure we do this.
Is cooperative in large scare quotes?
Asgard Svartalfheim Mining Cooperative. I was not the one to coin this particular equivocation, but one has to respect the pure emotionless language that paints over decades of systemic slaughter and oppression. Oh, since I lit all three, it doesn't matter. Oh, there we go. Maximum rage increased. Yee. Big fan, big fan.
I might be able to get up there if you help me.
Patience, boy. Daddy needs that money. Might be able to get up there if you help me. What do you want me to do? Throw you up there? Wait a minute. Why am... Holy shit. Why is this such a struggle all of a sudden?
Jump.
I have to get this to turn somehow. And...
Great. I'll head across for a better look.
There we go.
Father, there's a gate up here heading towards the entrance to the mine. If you can get up here, I'll need your help lifting it.
If.
Oh, come on. You can jump that. Your knees aren't that bad.
Atreus.
Do it again.
I hope you can make that jump.
that wasn't enough. Have I gotten too hasty? Or perhaps Atreus needs to somehow jump onto that?
It's another one of those wooden troughs. I wonder how the dwarves thought of stuff like this.
Aye. Might be the great motivator of convenience. Why do the work when you can get the wet stuff to do it for you?
Amen.
Sure hope Tyr's here.
Atreus, we seek information,
I know. Stop acting like I'm trying to start a war.
yet you do not say otherwise.
Brothers, maybe we can lay this to rest a bit, eh?
If I had to guess, Kratos either knows or doesn't know and is afraid of what Atreus is capable of. Like, this may very well be one of those things where it's like, I'm super powerful, but my son, oh crap. Like Goku and Gohan. Like, Goku's like super powerful and stuff, but then Gohan, oh shit, right? So it's like, you're not saying that you don't want to start a war, and I don't know that you or I know what you're capable of, and that's pretty freaky, dude. Totally possible that that's the case for them. And I wish Kratos would open up a little bit more about his fears around this. I do find it interesting that this is something that elicits emotion from both of them, because there's no way that the emotional alignment is there. And they're coming from entirely different spaces as it relates to that. Kratos, because he knows what it might mean to be incredibly powerful and knows what it means to be young and naive and wield that power. And Atreus may be just frustrated because his dad doesn't understand him in the way that he wants to be understood. Like, completely different wavelengths, but ultimately sitting atop this idea that war is not a great thing to get into. And I'm sure he probably doesn't want Atreus to live with some of the same regrets that he lives with. Like, that's one of the cool things about gaining knowledge and then having children.
Side. I will lift on mine.
Is you pass it along.
Heavier than I thought. Thanks. Let's keep moving.
But first, need to figure out how to destroy all this gold.
Ah, maybe you can hit it from a different angle. Looks like we found Durlin's mine entrance.
Okay, this is interesting. So I can't go over there, but I can't grab it from here. So I'm hoping Tyr can be a good example to Atreus. I hope Tyr's even alive to be able to talk to us. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens if he's alive and he can. It's one of those things though, like the thing that people misunderstand about teenagers is this idea that you can always just talk them through understanding stuff. Like sometimes teenagers have to just experience stuff. They have to see it. They have to be a part of it. So like even if you have Kratos and Tyr talking him down on the war stuff and the idea that fighting is the best way to go about this, that doesn't necessarily mean that Atreus is just gonna go, oh, okay, I trust both of you, so that sounds good. Like he may still just be like, stop ganging up on me. I know what I know what ideas I'm trying to act on. I feel good about my decision-making process. Yada yada yada. Like it's hard to know exactly how he's gonna respond, but we need to pull this over. This is so interesting. I can't pull from over here. I don't know. There's a pot that's on the other side of this. I'm sure it's something obvious that I'm missing here. Like that. Okay. Yeah. But is it actually? Whatever. I guess we'll walk through here and see what happens. Oh, what's up, Sindri?
Got something else for you.
Sindri!
What is it?
Since you're currently lacking a light source, sorry, and have no way of seeing exactly what untold horrors lurk in the dark, these will help. Okay, back to your exploring now. Off with you.
Thanks, Sindri. Hey, wait, what do you mean by untold horrors?
Oh,
Look out!
one can only imagine.
It's leaning to the wall! Gotta knock it down! That was close. Are you seeing this? That huge crane's moving this way.
Interesting.
Stay there.
Yes, sir.
Alright. Take me there.
Meet you on the other side.
This is so neat.
Mimir, what is the likelihood Tyr is imprisoned in this mine?
Durlin might have been as well oiled as this train. I don't believe he'd lead us astray.
Oh shit. Oh, I didn't want to go here yet.
The lad's too trusting.
He is eager to prove himself. It clouds his judgment.
Oh, I know you have more faith in him than that, brother.
Shit, I didn't want to come over here yet. No. No. Oh, okay. Never mind. We're fine. Okay. I didn't think that was.
What became of Kvasir?
Ripped apart by his audience. Well, one member of his audience. Well, Thor.
A Story of Brotherhood, won by Kvasir. Steel and Fur. Ratchet and Clank. Unlikely friends, united in purpose to heroic ends. Thrown together by fate, ripped apart by disdain. Old foes to aggravate, allies to obtain. Saving the world after world, with friends at their backs. Two clever automatons. And the last two... The manuscript abruptly ends here. The bottom of the page, singed beyond recognition. Pommels of the undying spark. Pommels forged in seething flame. They continue to radiate heat even in the frigid temperature of Fimbulwinter. Strength down, runic up. I like being strong.
Find anything?
We keep moving.
What's this, Dr. Mick? A mine that looks like it could be a potential cliffhanger? You're correct. We're going into the mine in part 5. Friends, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this stream. I appreciate so much that you support what I do. I hope that my analysis is meaningful in some kind of way. It is a lot of fun playing this game. It has been incredibly rich with stuff for me to analyze and talk about. So I am greatly enjoying this. Make sure you leave a thumbs up on the stream on the way out. A comment would be much appreciated. Tell people about the stream. Follow the links down in the description. Come hang out with us sometime on Twitch. If you're binging the series, I'll see you over in part 5. If you're waiting for the next episode to come out, we'll get it out as soon as we possibly can. As always, you matter. I am grateful for you, and I can't wait to see you on the next episode. Adios, friend.